Hello, welcome to Alena's Academy. Today I will be teaching you how to work with fractions. You will be learning how to add two fractions with different denominators. In this case, you will be adding 5/8 plus 3/10 equals something. The problem is we have different denominators. Now there are couple different ways you can find a common denominator for 8 and 10. One way is to times this number by this number and get 80. But it's so big you'd have to reduce down, and that would take a lot of work. Another way is to list off the numbers. If I have 8 and I have 10, I can count by both of them. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, and so on. For 10, it's pretty easy. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on. Right here, you can see we have our first number that applies to both 8 and 10. None of the other numbers are common in both of them. Only 40. There might be more later on, but this is the first one, so this is the one we use. I think the best way to do it is this way. It's called prime factorization. You have to find two numbers that you can multiply to get 8. For example, 2 and 4. 2 is a prime number, so circle it. 4 is not a prime number, so you have to keep going. What can you multiply to get 4? 2 and 2. Then you circle the 2's. 10 is 5 and 2, and they are both prime numbers, so you circle both of them. Next comes the tricky part, but once you understand it, it's a lot of help. You have to look at both of the numbers in both 8 and 10. All of the prime numbers. There's a 2, a 2, a 2, in 8, a 5, and a 2 in 10. Here comes the trickiest part. You can choose one number and write all of those down real quick. 2 times 2 times 2 from 8. But then there's a 2 in 10. So you exit out and you don't use it because it's making up for one of these 2's. But you do use the 5. So you do times 5 equals. You could also write it 2 to the 3rd times 5 equals 40. You can see from the other page that we got 40 as our answer also. So it works either way. I find this method easier, but at first I thought this was a lot easier until I learned prime factorization. Now we can solve the problem. We know that 40 is the number that both 8 and 10 we can use for both of them. Because 8 goes into 40. It goes into 40 5 times. And 10 goes into 40 4 times. Now might come another tricky part, depending on how well you handle with fractions. 10 goes into 40 4 times. So you have to times it by 4. But then you have to times, so you always times, if you times 10 by 4, you have to times 3 by 4, which equals 12 tenths. No, 12 40ths, sorry. Then you have to do the same with 5/8. 5 goes into 40. 8 goes into 40 5 times. So you have to times 8 by 5. Then you have to times 5 times 5, which equals 25. So that would be 25 40ths. Now you can just go ahead and add. Now you can just go ahead and add. It's 25 40ths plus 12 40ths. Let me rewrite that on the other page. 25 40ths plus, what was it? 12 40ths. You never add the bottom. You can right away just put 40 down, because you just know 40 will stay 40. You never add it. You just have to add 12 plus 25. That's 37. Your answer is 37 40ths. Now you have to check, can you reduce it? That means if I had 8 tenths, 2 goes into both of those. So I could make it 4/5. Now I have to ask the same question with 37 40ths. But a fraction doesn't always be simplified. In this case, 37 40ths cannot be simplified. 37 40ths can't be simplified. So, our answer is 37 40ths. I hope you've learned something or have reviewed it. I know I'm kind of copying Khan Academy, whatever. I guess I'm supposed to give credits to Khan Academy or something. Yeah, so. But thank you for watching, and the answer is 37 40ths. And being a nerd is awesome.
Like me. The person who always talks.